Welcome to Coffee Chat. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Coffee Chat is where I get on here and I talk about all things Niknax. What is Niknax? Niknax is my e-commerce marketplace hosted by District. We have live selling, buy it now, and multi-day auctions, and about 50,000 members, over 5,000 sellers, and over 100,000 listings. So I would love to have you come on over and join us on Niknax. But we're going to get started with our weekly meeting. Just got to get over to our notes. But we're going to talk about milestones, accomplishments, kudos, upcoming events, and all of that. So if that's not your thing, you don't need to be watching this video. You might find it boring if you're not into that. Okay, let's get over to YouTube. Good morning. All right. Sorry, it's going a little slow this morning. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Okay. Content. All right. So we're going to switch this over to subscribers only, which means if you're over on YouTube, you will have had to have been subscribed for 2 years in order to comment. I know that's a lot, but I would just invite you to come on over here to niknax.net. That is niknax.net. That is where we're hanging out. It's right here, niknax.net. And that's what we're talking about. Hey, Crystal, thank you for the raid. All right, so let me get to our notes, and we are going to start. How is everybody? Yeah, registration is free. Yeah, you can come on over to Niknax. It's free to register. Yeah, the car show was interesting. It was definitely good for advertising. I mean, I made money, but I think overall it was a good advertising tool. So let's get started, shall we? We currently have 49,676 members. That's not 50,000 like I said, but I cannot see the exact number, and all I saw was 50,000. So I'm like, yay, we crossed 50,000. We're not quite there yet. It's rounding up. So that's 237 new members since last week. So if you are a new member, I would encourage you to go on over to the chat channels and introduce yourself in the community chat. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you collect, what you sell possibly, and just get to know everybody. So that's what Niknax is all about, community, and that helps you kind of plug into the community. And yeah, so make sure you do that. We currently have 5,197 sellers. That's 14 new sellers since last week. So I did add a few new sellers in. I didn't go too crazy. But as a reminder, since I've been receiving a lot of messages about applications, there is a delay. Sometimes it can be days, weeks, months, years. It has a lot to do with how much information you provided on your application. If I asked for links and all you said was yes, that's not winning you any points or a quick approval. So when you're applying, you have to make sure that you're including as much information as possible. And if you're not selling anywhere else and maybe you don't have any links, tell me what you want to sell, why you want to sell it, and give me some information on yourself, because then I'll be like, oh, you know what, they sound like they would be a great fit for Niknax. So keep that all in mind. It also has to do a lot with what you sell. If you're selling jewelry, and our jewelry market right now is saturated with a lot of buyers, but too many sellers. We have to wait for that ratio to tip a little bit. And once we start doing really well in jewelry, I start adding new jewelry sellers, which we're doing pretty good in jewelry right now. Same goes for clothing, for all sorts of things. But I just try to make sure that we have balance, which is very important. We currently have 117,000 listings. I don't know if that's, I don't know if we have more than last week. I think we were at 117 last week, but that includes buy it now listings, private listings, live listings, all of the things. So we're at 117,000. So there you go. If you are a new seller and you would like to go live, you have to go through your live onboarding. which is under our chat channels. You will find a link to not apply, but you will find a link to Sienna's calendar, and she does live onboarding twice a week. It's not really to get approved to go live. Basically, it's just to walk you through the steps of going live so that you're familiar with the process, because it is different than other selling platforms. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, let me make sure I have enough charge. Okay, so this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is October. So remember to get checked if you have, which I think everybody does. So, and actually we have a train happening on the 18th in honor of male breast cancer awareness. So keep that all in mind. Go get checked. It's very important. You're going tomorrow? Great. Fantastic. So yes, we have, it's right here. We have that event happening on the 18th. Maximalist Manor is putting on that event. And I think some of the proceeds from that are going to hisbreastcancer.org. So that'll be happening on the 18th if you want to hop in and support that event. On the 19th, we are having our marketplace wide event, and a percentage of all of the proceeds of sales on that day, whether or not you're participating in the event or not, whether you just sell a buy it now, whether you go on and you're doing a live and don't even realize that it's the 19th, a percentage of those marketplace fees, my 5% is going to Susan Komen, I believe, is what we decided on. So it is going there. So we're going to be donating those, and I don't know how it all works out, but somehow they're like on district, and the funds just get redirected to them. I don't know how exactly that works, but district has it all figured out. So that's what we are doing. So Hispanic Heritage Month as well. we have Hispanic Heritage Month. So it's celebrated in the U.S., recognizing the contributions and influence of Hispanic culture to the nation's achievements, culture, and history. So there you go. So in addition to breast cancer awareness, we also have Hispanic Heritage Month, which I think is wonderful. I know a lot of our members have Hispanic heritage, and we love all of the things that come with that, like folk art. And look, there's Christina. We sell a lot of folk art in here. So the next time you're buying a piece of Mexican folk art, just remember and show that appreciation for Hispanic Heritage Month. Mexican pottery, yes, absolutely. I think November 1st is Dia de los Muertos, which I love. All right, so happy. Oh, it's also ADHD awareness. That's appropriate. That's definitely appropriate. I feel like a good portion of us are ADHD. It just comes with the territory of reselling. I don't know how that all works. There's probably something scientific there, the way those two correlate. But yes, there you go. All right, so it's National Inner Beauty Day. Focus on a person's kindness, compassion, honesty, integrity, strength of character, and treating others with respect and care. There you go, Inner Beauty Day. I think that's great. I don't know why we need a day for that, but apparently we do. We need a day for that. I think that should be every day, really. But there you go. It is World Cotton Day. So, go out and get yourself some 100% cotton shirts, or I don't know. I don't really understand that. Fabrics, dispensers, clothing, jewelry. When you search cotton on Niknax, all those things show up. Yeah, natural fibers for the win. Absolutely. That's so funny. Yeah, when I think of cotton, I just think of Hanes t-shirts because then they like advertise like 100% cotton. That's what I think of when I think of cotton. I'm like, okay, everybody just put on those t-shirts for the day and let's celebrate. All right, National Taco Day. Ooh, when it is Taco Tuesday, I think maybe I already know what we're going to be having for lunch. It is National Taco Day. So, this celebration is a popular made up holiday for a day associated with tacos. That makes total sense. I mean, I feel like every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday and a celebration of tacos, but I guess not. Oh, man. So, a question, if you prefer crunchy tacos or soft tacos. Oh, and if you like soft tacos, whether you like the flour tortillas or the corn. I'm not really a fan of the corn. I like the flour. I don't know. I know it's like not traditional, but I love the flour. National Cold Coffee Drink Day. There you go. All these things I can make happen today, I feel like. And I'm going to go for it. So if you guys see me later and I'm live, you're going to see me wearing a cotton t-shirt, drinking some cold coffee, and eating tacos. Okay. National Fruit at Work Day. There's another one. I might have some fruit for dessert. A day to promote the benefits of eating fruit in the workplace. Only in the workplace, nowhere else. It's funny. I don't know where to go with that one. Life is good. Yeah. Bring some fruit to work today, guys. And then when people are like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "Well, today's the day to bring fruit to work." All right. So first of all, we're gonna get into our notes now. That was like our icebreaker. All right. So if you guys could please save questions to the end, I get really off topic very easily. So try to keep questions till the end. And if you can't remember them, make sure you just write them down. And then we will kind of circle back. But yes, save your questions. Otherwise, I'll just be way over here and not here. Okay, so first of all, fun first spooky speedy Saturday. We had our first one this last Saturday, and it was an event where we celebrated Halloween. We tried to encourage everyone to bring only Halloween to that event, as much Halloween as you possibly. The theme was Halloween. And it was 15-minute time slots back to back to back to back. And I think it was a success. I think everybody had a lot of fun. I think that that quick turn around really brings excitement. It brings a little bit of healthy stress to running your items and moving things along. And I think it's a good thing to experience one of our 15-minute events at some point while you're on Niknax. So we have another one coming up on the 11th. That will be our next. We're doing 2 weekends on Saturday. So we will be having another one on the 11th. But please remember, this is a Halloween event. It is a Halloween event, and it's only 15 minutes. So you've committed. If you've committed, you need to bring Halloween because that is the theme. The theme is Halloween. So make sure you're bringing your Halloween if you're committed to the event, and bringing enough items and all of the things. All right. Very important we stick with the theme. We talk about that often with our Niknax events. But if you guys remember a few months ago, I told you guys from now on, I am going to be enforcing the rules of our live trains. And that includes sticking to the theme, reading when it is time, making sure you have enough items listed and on time, all of those things, because when you do not follow the rules of the trains, especially the Niknax trains, it affects everybody in the train. If you don't bring items that go with the theme, people are going to drop off. They're there for whatever the theme is. In this case, it was Halloween. If you don't raid in time and it's only 15 minutes, you're cutting into the next person's time. Suddenly they don't. That is really stressful because suddenly they don't have 15 minutes. They only have 12. And in those 2 minutes, they could have run a few of their items. So please keep all of this in mind, especially as we continue to have these events. Let's see. Updates. Please make sure your app is updated to 3.0.1. Version 3.1. All right. Looking for a drink. I just realized I left my drink in the car. I'll just drink. I don't know where this came from, but I'm going to drink it. It's obviously mine. It's in the box. All right. So yes, please make sure your app is updated. I say this every week. Mine is supposed to auto update, and for some reason it doesn't do that. So if you are also struggling with the auto update, I would suggest checking periodically to make sure that you are, especially if you're going live. I think that's very important. If you're going live, you should make sure you have the latest version, because that's when we see the most glitches, is when your app's not up. And that's always the first question. Did you update your app? It's a really good question, Dylan. I have no idea. I don't know the answer. I'm just reading the notes. So there you go. 3.0.1. I mean, I could have said 2.0 and I don't think anyone would have known. The moral of the story is make sure it's updated. All right. If you experience not being able to see the live store on your app, the glitch was fixed with the new update. So the update did make a few fixes. A reminder that we did have an update where you can now move the co-hosting screen around if you have two people co-hosting. I think that's really kind of beneficial, because sometimes, the little box covers things up, but you can now move it around. So that is really cool. You can also make it side by side. You can make it a split screen, which I think is pretty cool. This is the iOS app only and not on the desktop, and certainly not on Android because, well, maybe it is. I say that, but Android is a little bit limited, as we know. But I can promise you that every week I get feedback that they're working on it. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. I don't know why Android makes it so hard and why iOS is like, yeah, you want to create an app? Let's do it in 5 minutes. But when it comes to Android, for some reason, it's like, all right, this is going to be about 2 years in a couple months. So let's just sit back and wait. That's how Android works, because I don't know if the program is more difficult or how that, what all goes into that. But it's not as easy to create an Android app. And as a result, what you are experiencing if you have an Android is that, just that. But I do know they're working on it. The programmers are working. All the people that need to be working on it for district are working on it. So hopefully I will have an update for you guys on that at some point. A reminder that sellers can create their own discount codes, and sellers can share out their live stream link. You can access the scheduled stream link and share it out to friends and family on social. So if you create like a discount code friends and family, and you post your live sale somewhere, you could be like, hey, come on over, use code friends and family, and you'll get $5 off your first purchase. So just keep that. That's a great way to advertise. One of the ways we advertised this weekend, and it was a huge success. So I would encourage anybody else who's out there who maybe sets up at events. And I posted about it on Facebook. I talked a bit about it last week, but we set up a TV, and we used the laptop to project on the screen. So it was a laptop running district sales, our Niknax sales, throughout the course of the 5-day event. And we had little Niknax stickers. I had the QR code for people to sign up. And there was so many people that stopped and looked and took one of the stickers, or, took a card. So it really was, I thought, oh, this is a great idea. But I don't know. I don't think I expected a whole lot of people to stop, because you walk by a TV and it's like, what's going on there? But we had a ton of people stopping, which I thought was really kind of cool. So keep that in mind if you set up at events. It could be a great opportunity to advertise. All right, let's see. Selling vintage makeup. We have some guidelines around that. I did update our guidelines, but it just kind of included what we've talked about before. And I'll actually pull them up this week. Yes, that was a great idea. That was Andrew's idea. I'm not going to take credit for that. That was his idea. And I was like, that seems like a lot of work. But you know what? The work paid off. It did pay off. It did work out really nicely. So probably something we'll do in the future. And I think the girls, the girls are like all about setting up at events now. Like they enjoy. I mean, events that correlate with antiques. I mean, that one was a little rough. We did end up making sales. We did about 1,500 in 5 days, which, but we had the market cornered in antiques and collectibles, so that worked out. And the advertising definitely made it worth it for sure. Okay, so here in the guidelines, if you open up the guidelines, you will see. Wait, what? That's crazy. Why would you do that? That sounds like pouring money down the toilet, quite literally. All right. So as far as cosmetics go, I did update them. You guys know every time I update the guidelines, I include a little date at the top that says when they've been updated, and then I highlight the updates until I make additional updates, and then I unhighlight those and I highlight the next update. So that just creates transparency so that we all know what's going on with the guidelines, because guidelines do change. And I usually let you know right here on Coffee Chat when any changes have been made. But we have an update to cosmetics. We don't have a huge cosmetic category here. We do have a few folks who sell cosmetics, and but we did update the cosmetic guideline. So if we were to get a lot more people in, we have that. So cosmetics for display. So if cosmetics are being sold as display, it must be specified in the listing for display only. All right. If it is determined that the cosmetics have no display value, and for display only is being used to circumvent the guidelines, listings will be removed at our discretion. So if somebody is like, oh, well, I'm just going to list this as for display so I can list this opened cosmetic, I'm going to look at that and I'm going to say, that's not a display. And I'm going to remove your listing. So keep that in mind. Cosmetics for display, in my mind, are vintage, vintage compacts, vintage perfume bottles. But even with vintage perfume bottles, you probably should, because the smell gets gross over time, but for display only is what we're saying. And right underneath that, it says it is highly recommended that all expired cosmetics be emptied and the contents disposed of before selling them for display value. So that is very highly recommended that you do that. All right. Yes. I mean, for display only, as long as, it's vintage, it has display value. So if it's just like an ugly little compact with some leftover blush in it, I'm going to be like, nah. But if it's cute and it has value for display, we are going to allow that on a case-by-case basis. So I did add that in. I think that was, I added something else. Unclaimed packages and return to sender. If a package is purposefully returned to sender because of buyer remorse, the member may be suspended or banned. We ran into this issue last week where somebody was in a sale and they got mad at the seller after they had already made purchases. And when I sent them a message, they were like, well, I'm just going to return them to sender when they get here. And I was like, well, you can't really do that. Like, I take an issue with that. I think that's like the exact words I said. I take an issue with that. So now we're going to have to get rid of you. so please remember that. I mean, if you do it once, you're probably going to do it again. And that's kind of what I always say. So it's not an option. If I find out you're doing that, if I hear from a seller that, hey, this got returned because they contacted me wanting a refund and I had already shipped it out and they had buyer's remorse and they returned it to me. It doesn't work that way. I will suspend or ban the buyer for that. So keep that in mind. It's just Andrew. All right, let's see. Okay. If you are a seller selling wholesale, please remember that you must be approved to be a wholesale seller. So we have in our guidelines, and I always refer back to our guidelines, it's very important that you read our guidelines when you become a seller here. And I'm going to go off on a tangent right now because I feel like it's really important. It's very important that you read our guidelines because unlike other places, we do enforce them. I will enforce them. And so if we notice, something shady is going on, something gets reported, something against guidelines, they are enforced here. I know other selling platforms, it's often mentioned that people are allowed to continue doing things they're not supposed to because of the money that they make. But that's not the case here. I will come down on you.
I'm going to take this to her door downstairs because she's not here yet.
Yeah, she doesn't get here till, 10, maybe 12? I don't know. All right, so that's my little spiel. This especially in the wake of the huge scandal that happened elsewhere recently, where it had been reported over and over and over again, and nothing ever happened until LAPD came in. So, I mean, if it's reported again and again and again, I'm going to investigate it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, oh, well, they just made us a bunch of money, so I'm not looking over there. Yeah, kind of wild. But if it's reported, we follow up and investigate. So just remember that. I mean, I wouldn't think that we would have any of that here, at least not where we're at now, but in the future. Keep that in mind. So wholesale. Please read the guidelines about wholesale if you intend to sell wholesale. I did receive an application from somebody who sells elsewhere who specializes in Talavera, which I thought was really cool. And they said it wasn't necessarily wholesale, but I told them, you know what, put it in there just in case. I don't want people being like, oh, and messaging me and all of that. So I thought that was really cool. So that's kind of how the wholesale thing got all brought back up, is I just want to make sure that if you are selling wholesale, or if it looks like you're going to be selling wholesale, please reach out and let us know so we kind of get ahead of that. And we do actually have a few requests for wholesale that we talked about last night. So if you did send us a message about it, we'll get back to you very, very shortly. All right. So if you are selling wholesale, you have to be approved, first of all. You have to have host notes stating you are approved by us. I don't know what that means, Christina. All right, hang on. All right, let's go to our wholesale guidelines and just look them over real quick. What? Explain what wholesale items that are acceptable. There is a restriction on jewelry wholesale because I feel like that would encroach on our jewelry sellers. So we don't allow for wholesale of jewelry. Specifically, jewelry is kind of like a no. So we don't allow for wholesale of jewelry. That's definitely excluded. Okay. Let's see. So it says right there under wholesale guidelines in bold, it says we do not allow for contemporary wholesale jewelry from foreign or domestic sources unless special permission is granted. So special permission would be like somebody reaching out and being like, hey, I used to sell this type of jewelry 10 years ago. I don't sell it anymore, but I have all this stock left over. Could I sell this jewelry to get rid of my stock? Like that would be a possible exception to wholesale because technically it is a bunch of the same, but it's not like it's an endless supply, so a situation like that, we might be like, oh, okay. Yeah, if you want to sell that, absolutely go for it. And the reason we have this rule is because we don't want people buying a bunch of stuff off of Amazon, a bunch of jewelry, in essence, Temu jewelry, and selling it, because Temu does sell. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Amazon and Temu kind of have like this agreement where they sell a lot of the same things. So there you go. That's my little spiel about wholesale, and we have covered that in the past. That was just a little reminder. Shout out and reminders. Thank you to all members for immediately reporting a glitch with all these new updates. And those of you who are on iOS know that we just recently did an app update. So with all the new updates, it is possible that you may be seeing a glitch or recognizing a glitch. It's not just you. If something doesn't seem to be working right, it could very well be a glitch in the new update. So please remember to report it. If you have the iOS, which you would because that's where the update came out, you can shake your phone and send a report to district. Now, keep in mind when you're shaking your phone and sending reports to district, those are for technical reports. Don't be shaking your phone and being like, this buyer was mean to me. That's not how it works. So if you have a glitch, you can shake it and report that you are experiencing a technical difficulty. That is the purpose of shaking the phone. All right. So let's see. You can also email support@district.net. That's the other way. If you shake your phone and it doesn't really work, you can report any glitches to support@district.net. And that goes for this buyer is being mean to me. You can also report those to support@district.net and community@niknax.net. So please, yeah, you have to state the device you're on when you're experiencing the glitch. So if you are like maybe not experiencing something related to the new iOS, but you're like on your computer and you're trying to do something and there's a glitch, you can email support and let them know about it. All right. And just state that you are on your computer, because otherwise they won't really know what's going on. Yes, as always, you can reach out to community@niknax.net. We aren't necessarily responding to all the emails we receive anymore, but we are reading them. And if we need to respond, we are doing our best to respond to those messages. There is a little bit of a delay, I will say. We do have a delay in responding, but we are still looking at the email, reading the emails, and doing what we can. So if you send an email that's like, oh, this buyer did this, and I look into that buyer and I find out that they did something, I will send them a message, but I might not get back to you and be like, hey, I sent them a warning, or I did this or that. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Reminder to check out the calendar of events. So if you go over to Niknax, and you scroll yourself all the way down to community events, you will see, wait, no, it's not in community. I lied. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Under Get Started, the very first subject on our chat channels, you will find calendar of events. That's where that goes. So it is under Get Started, calendar of events. We moved it up. It was down under events, but we moved it up so that it's obvious when you come and you hit Get Started, you can see that we have events coming up. I thought that was the best spot for it. I just didn't remember that I thought that was the best spot for it. So anyway, let's click on that and see what events we have coming up. So Wednesday, well, tonight we have Groovy Train. We always have the Groovy Train on Tuesdays of Coffee Chat. Wednesday, we have fabric, buttons, trims, and more on Wednesday, as well as Good Morning Niknax in the morning, which is a lot of fun. If you wake up early and you're drinking your coffee and you're like, oh, let's see what's happening on Niknax, you can usually count on the Good Morning Niknax train to keep you company. Thursday, we have the Art Hangout train, which is a great opportunity for our handmade artists to get together to just hang out, show their art, and it's always fun to pop in there and say hi and see what everybody's up to. So we have that coming on the 9th. Oh, holiday edition tomorrow. Oh, very cool. Holiday edition tomorrow. That's going to be fun. This weekend, We have the Itty Bitty Train, the fourth one, happening on Saturday. So if you like the itty bitty things, if you have a box, no, a printer's tray hanging on your wall that needs a few spaces filled in, the Itty Bitty Train is happening this Saturday. So I would encourage you guys to hang out there and check it out. I know littles are so fun; they're so easy to ship. So that will be out. Kickoff is at 11:45 a.m. Eastern on Saturday. So make sure you pop in there and check it out. Hello. Spooky Speedy Saturday is also happening on Saturday. And again, this is a repeat of the event that happened last Saturday, where we have the 15-minute time slots back to back. And it is all Halloween. It's supposed to be all Halloween. On Sunday, we are having Indigenous Peoples Folk Art Train. So if you love the folk art, like a lot of us do, you can find that on the 12th. I think that's gonna be an odd. That train. I think we've done that before, haven't we? I'm pretty sure we have. And there's some really cool stuff in there. So make sure you check that out. And then next week we've got Manic Monday, Groovy Tuesday, all the same things. Except we have a midweek market mini train on Wednesday, which I think should be fun for next week. And that rolls into our breast cancer awareness weekend. So make sure you're checking out the calendar, looking at what's coming up and the events. Speaking of events, Niknax events coming up. Spooky Speedy Saturday, All Halloween, October 11th. I will be kicking it off at 4 p.m. Eastern. There you go. I was like, what is my time slot? I'm kicking it off, guys. 4 p.m. Eastern with some Halloween stuff. And it should be fun. I've been picking up a few Halloween things. So, guidelines for the event is posted in the sign up channel and in the event chat channel's description. So I talk about the guidelines and how important they are. Guidelines are posted, so please read the guidelines. Breast cancer awareness all day event on the 19th, and as stated, a percentage of those goes straight to the Komen Foundation. Thumbnail is available in the event chat channel. I actually just realized that that's only like a week away, right? It's next weekend. That's crazy. I got to get Cernifis listed up so we can start that, because I'm donating all the proceeds from Cernifis to the cause. So I was looking at the calendar. I was like, oh shoot, I better get Cernifis listed. Let's see. Meet Your Maker and Handmade Market is on October 24th. Handmade Market is the fourth Friday of the month, and we always celebrate our handmade makers. So we will be having that. What is the theme? Oh, celebrations. That's right. The Meet Your Maker theme is celebrations. So all of the homepage will be turned over to Handmade. You can do some browsing, check it out there. But at the same time, we also have the Meet Your Maker train, where our artists show off their work, and it's always a lot of fun. So the theme for Meet Your Maker this month is celebrations, and I think that's great. So they'll create pieces related to birthdays, holidays, milestones, anniversaries, seasons, and much more. Those who added their username to the Niknax event interest sheet will be messaged today to sign up with a sign up link after the wheel randomizer picks a name. All right, that is how we are doing our events at the moment. Oh, really? Thanksgiving? That's awesome. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, so the way we've been doing events recently is instead of a free-for-all, and we release the event sign up and everybody just goes crazy and they're entering each other's names, and it's just like chaotic and stressful. We've decided to now do an interest sign up sheet, put those names on the spreadsheet into a wheel randomizer, and picking multiple names from that interest sheet and letting you pick a spot if you're chosen. So that seems to be working out. It gives everyone a fair opportunity. Let's see. I think Oh, here we go. We're on to our quote. So, looking deeper into my favorite quote, a rising tide lifts all the boats. Um, Overall growth and prosperity benefit everyone in society, which is absolutely true. That is what it represents. So, the rising tide represents marketplace growth, and the boat symbolizes different individuals, businesses, community within the marketplace. And the lifting indicates that improvements in the marketplace will also lead to the improvements for all who are participating. So that is your explanation of the quote. If you're just like, why does she keep talking about boats? Now you know what that means. Now you know what that means. And I think that was it for our notes. We got through those pretty quickly. I mean, I was pretty tied up last week, so I didn't have a whole lot of input on that. But that's kind of what we've got going on. So I have some time for questions. If anyone has any questions you would like to direct to me, I can answer. So wholesale products are items from wholesale dealers. Yes, usually they're new. Wholesale is like you buy a bunch of stuff brand new, and then you try to flip it for a profit. That's usually what we would consider wholesale. So, going online and buying a bunch of, I have no idea where I was going with that, but buying a bunch of things and then trying to sell it. We're, you know, for the things that we are out there finding in the wilds, it's definitely different because we only have one of those things or two of those things, but wholesale is recognized as sourcing on a contemporary website and then trying to flip the items. So, is there a tag for buy it now items to support the breast cancer awareness? There is not. I didn't think of doing that because everything sold that day goes towards breast cancer awareness, as far as like a percentage of those items. So I didn't really. We do have a tag for pink and we do have a tag for blue. Probably what I will do is pin those to the homepage, blue and pink, and then obviously all the things around the marketplace. So yes, there will be a thumbnail, but keep in mind that on that day, it's not a train. It's anyone who wants to go live for any reason, that they feel led to go live that day. Feel free to use that thumbnail and go. You don't have to though, but you can do that. All right. No, you're good. I list an item for auction for live sale. Photos listing. Can they make where once live is over, move to buy it now? I thought can't you list it? Can't you? Well, no, because I don't know. I've brought that up multiple times. I think I've brought that up a few times and what I do is I duplicate and then I just create it that way and then delete the original. Really? No, that's not it. I might have just hit the wrong button. That's weird. But yeah, 5. I'm not really sure what that was. I mean, Laurel could have been like climbing over me and she hit the number and then that was how that worked out. I'm pretty sure. It's a secret code. Yeah. Yeah, that was from Laurel, I think. Kind of discouraging me to do live because I feel like I lose that listing in the work that No. So if it doesn't sell, I think it goes under expired, right, guys? Please tell me where it goes. Looking at my computer products. Yeah, so it'll go under the expired tab on desktop. Yeah, that's where it goes. So for instance, I have a ton of stuff under expired, and that's where it ends up. And I think, let me see if you can. Yeah, I think when I do is I just duplicate it and then I recreate a new one. Let's see. Is there a reason why we can't share our live auction videos from Niknax? I didn't know you couldn't. Yeah, you can. You can't? how do you mean by share? Like share the link? Or you mean like multicasting like I'm doing? During or afterward the show? Yeah, if you mean multicasting like I do, where I'm live right now on Niknax, but everyone can see it on Facebook and YouTube. There is a setup process for that, to get it linked up. And if you need help with that, Sienna can probably help you, or support if you just message support@district.net. Can we take clips of our shows? Yes, you can. Yes, you can actually rewatch your old lives and then take a clip, but it doesn't include any of the comments. So unless you're, well, even if you're live. So what I'll do a lot of the times, because over on Facebook or YouTube, you can see how much it sells for. Like it actually, like when it casts, it includes what it sells for. And so I usually take those links or those clips, because it actually shows what it sold for. And versus here on Niknax, where it's a replay, but you can't see what the thing sold for unless you say it, and you can't see any of the comments. Oh, thank you, Kiki. Thank you very much. Oh, that was such a cute, that was a cute little Kokeshi too. Okay, how will you be approved if you're, yes, so if you're approved to sell, you will receive an email. A lot of the time that email goes into spam folder, so make sure that you're checking there. And if you are approved, you will be able to see the selling chat channels. So if you're not sure, like you're like, oh, I don't know, because there has been instances where people didn't get the email, and then suddenly they can see the seller chat channels, and that means that you've been approved. But also your rejections go into spam as well a lot of the times. So if you've been waiting for a really long time, I always encourage you to check there first, because you may have been rejected and I may have requested additional information. Yes, yes. So there you have it. Wholesale as it pertains to jewelry. Can you clarify things like jewelry jars? Yes, absolutely. So when I talk about wholesale jewelry, I'm referring to someone going on Amazon and buying 50 brooches that come in little baggies and then trying to sell them on Niknax when you have like 50 things. Like, okay, for instance, let's just do this. Amazon. We're going to go shopping on Amazon, and we're going to say vintage style jewelry. That is where I take issue, is that a lot of these are vintage in style, and it comes with some I don't know if dishonesty is the right word, but the appearance of the brooch implies that it is vintage, when in fact it is not. And that's where I don't want anyone being disappointed buying a brooch and then finding out, oh wait, this is contemporary, and you can misrepresentation. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so here, prime example. Let me turn you guys around. All right, so for instance, like all of these right here, buying these for $16.99, and all 12 of them, and then, trying to flip them for $4 a piece, you're going to make a profit on them. But that is, kind of what we're against as far as wholesale goes. We don't want to see stuff like this. Here is a bunch of brooches, and these are all what I would consider to be vintage style. And so we just don't want to see that. And there's more where that came from. Oh, look down here. So there you go. Just to give you guys an example. Here's some more. Look, see those. So if we see, and so if we see like a ton of these being sold, if we see like multiples, and we're like, look, they even have cameos. Isn't that crazy? But if we see a lot that we're suspicious about, usually that's when we send a message and we're like, hey, look, here's even Christmas. So if we see a lot that we recognize as being contemporary in vintage style, usually that's when I send a message. Like if I'm like, oh my gosh, they have like 20 of these vintage style brooches, that's kind of when my suspicions are peaked. And I'm like, did they buy these wholesale and are they trying to pass them off as vintage? Now, in previous conversations about jewelry, I've explained the fact that, if you buy a lot of jewelry and one slips in and you don't really, I mean, I know it's probably happened to me where I'm just like, I don't recognize that it's, Amazon or that it's Temu. And, if one or two slips in and it was in a jewelry lot that you bought, we're not gonna give you a warning or anything like that. But if we see consistent pieces being sold, and that's not just in one sale, if somebody is selling contemporary wholesale jewelry, like maybe in this sale they'll sell five, and then in the next sale they'll sell five more. And if we see that pattern in multiple sales where we're seeing a lot of it, that's when the flag is raised. But if it's like two pieces every like 10th sale, then it's not a thing. It's when we see a lot. um yes, as Macy said, not all large lots are a red flag or bad. She sold thousands of pieces of new old stock Bakelite from the 70s. Yes. So how do I check everyone? I have spies everywhere. And a lot of the time I'm just creeping in the background, just keeping an eye on things. Do I feel more prepared for my show now that I've set up for one? I don't know if I necessarily feel more prepared in having set up for one. I feel more prepared having been on the fairgrounds and seeing the layout, seeing how people set up, seeing how the food vendors operate, seeing all of that. So I feel more prepared knowing how things operate around the fairgrounds. That's the answer. I do feel better about knowing how things are going to go. Yes, tomorrow is her doctor appointment. Yes, tomorrow in the afternoon. So and hopefully from there we go into surgery. She wants to play basketball this season, and if she goes through with the surgery prior to basketball, she won't be able to do that. So she said she might want to wait until after. But I mean, it's not like it is causing her discomfort, but it's not hurting her, unless she does too much. And she kind of knows her limits, but with her wanting to play basketball, I don't know if we'll just plan for after basketball. I'm just going to leave it up to her to decide when she wants to go forward with the surgery. What is the I missed it. I have given a lot of thought to it, and I have definitely raised a stink, I guess is the way to put it. And unfortunately, I don't make the ultimate decision, but I have let my opinion be known, and and if I continue to let that be known, that maybe we can get somewhere. But my understanding is that other selling platforms have also done the same, and if they have not, please correct me. But my understanding is that other selling platforms have done the same, and so I think District was just following suit. They have not. Okay, that's yeah. All right, I'm ready. All right. Okay, so it's just District then. Okay. Yeah, what about Whatnot? I'm just gonna shut my laptop because we're taking questions now. Yeah, I thought that they shut it down, but okay, all right, got it. Okay, Yeah, I don't know how or why. um yeah, I know. Why not all? Yes, I agree 100%. I know. Who even goes over there anymore? As long as sellers remember not to use UPS for shipping, just another reminder. Um, where would they send it if it's not UPS? I mean, isn't Canada Post shut down? Yeah, I mean, if you send it UPS, I feel like it goes into the hands of Canada Post, who isn't working right now. So it almost has to go UPS, right? Postal Strike Canada, eBay suspended shipments. Okay, so eBay did. Yeah, yes. UPS is separate. They don't use Canada Post. Where can so if you're looking for, I mean, we don't really have a guide for selling on Niknax. I feel like a lot of it is pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy to list. If you want to go live, you have to do the live onboarding. But it is pretty simple, I feel like, to navigate. You just go to new listing, you put in the information, it's listed. You can choose from buy it now, multi-day auction, or live sale. But if you are having trouble, I would encourage you to reach out to support@district.net, or you can always ask questions in the seller chat. Yeah, so the seller chat, absolutely. Feel free. You can ask questions and get answers there. Yes, seller chat is where you would want to go. Yeah, I think this rolls back into the mentoring that we want to do, and I still want to do that. It's just the logistics of figuring out how to make it a win-win for everybody. Part of the thought process was maybe we should offer membership to Niknax in the form of special mentoring. But if we were to have people come in and do the mentoring, we would need a way for them to be compensated, obviously. So that creates some difficulty in, you know, dispersing the membership fee, and then that just seems like a whole lot of work. So it's almost better for sellers to list a mentorship as a buy it now, and then send a link to their live as a private, and that's kind of how I was thinking through it. But I just, like, I'm caught up in that whole, like, trying to think of how to make it a win-win. um I agree, and I agree 100%, with its district's ultimate choice, but it should be left to the sellers and buyers regarding shipping. I agree. And I have stated that. I'll see what I can do. I'll try again. But knowing that a lot of the other platforms have gone the same direction with the same decision, I feel like there's probably like a much higher reasoning for this that we may not even have considered, because it seems odd that they would all do it. I mean, if it was just district, it would be like, but for eBay and whatnot to also do it, I feel like there must be some sort of motive for them to all shut down post to Canada. When UPS is an obvious option, like, it just makes sense that, oh, we'll just switch this over to UPS, but they didn't do that. You can confirm. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Okay. All right. I'll look into it, and I will bring it up today when I meet with them, and let them know that, hey, and we can go from there. We can figure it out. You are very welcome. You're very welcome. They were running as usual. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of people were like, why would you share that information? And I think ultimately, to create credibility is number one reason to share all that. Credibility and inspiration. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, she's just a reseller. She can't be successful." But when you put it all out there, and you're like, "Well, yes, I am a reseller, but also I'm kind of business savvy," and so I think that was a lot of the motivation behind that. And it was either going to turn out really bad or it was going to work out, and it definitely worked out. So it was a calculated risk for sure, for sure. Um, thank you all. I appreciate it. I appreciate the input. Exactly. Creating trust. Creating trust. Um, for sure. Oh, thank you. That always gets me emotional. It was on YouTube. Yes, yes, it was on YouTube. Yep. Yeah, I didn't post it over on Facebook. Maybe in the future I will, but I post most of my videos on YouTube. Thank you all. I appreciate you all very much. A lot of that I couldn't have done without all of you guys. I feel like on the Niknax side of things, it's a group effort. It's a group effort because, like our quote said today, a rising tide lifts all the boats. So, it takes all of us. So, and that's not just my success, that's your success as well. So keep that in mind. Oh, you guys. Yeah. Oh, it definitely takes a lot of hard work. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all, but it was worth it. It is worth it. The first time I ever filmed a YouTube video, I held my phone this way, and that was when it wasn't popular and you weren't supposed to do that. And so my video turned out like this. Um, and I had people telling me like, "Hey, make sure you hold it this way when you're filming a video." So it takes practice. It takes figuring out. It takes feedback from others. But eventually, you kind of figure it out. Oh gosh. Um, hey, just keep plugging at it. I think I have over 2,000 videos out there. Um, and you just got to keep plugging along. But ultimately, you shouldn't be doing it for others. If you want to do YouTube, you should be doing it for yourself. Because you enjoy it, not because, oh, I might, see, I might get famous or I might make a lot of money. Like, if you're going to do it, you need to do it for yourself because it's something you enjoy. I think when you go into it with a motive of, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money, or, oh, I'm going to become famous, that'll drag you down when, things don't pan out or don't go the way you think they should. But if you're just doing it because you love it and you enjoy it, then that's what matters. And hopefully other people recognize that's the thing, is that other people recognize that you're doing it because you love it. Because I think they can probably pick up on the facts when you're doing it just for fun, fame, or money. It's usually pretty obvious to most people. They see right through that. So there you go. That's my YouTube advice of the day. You're welcome. Unsolicited advice, I think. So yeah, do you guys have any more questions? And then otherwise, I'm just gonna hop off of here. I got some stuff to figure out before my meeting. Next sales. Oh, I'm having a sale this afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm selling stuff from Goodwill. So I will be selling stuff from Goodwill today. Tomorrow, I would like to go live. I don't know if I'm going live because Juliet's appointment is in Hershey, which is kind of far away. So I might not make it back in time to have a sale and get out of here before it gets dark. So tomorrow, I would like to, but I don't know. And then Thursday, maybe. I don't know. I guess you guys are just gonna have to keep an eye on my lives, but I'm definitely going live this afternoon, and this weekend for Spooky Speedy Saturday, which I'm launching. So there you go. Make a costume made product work for something. Oh, I'm not. Oh, a custom made product. Yes, yes. I feel like in order to do that, we would need to get approval first, because if somebody is giving you their money prior to you actually having the product in hand, there needs to be some sort of like guarantee. So we would probably need to get approval for that, just to make sure that the custom products are being sent out at least in a timely fashion, not like 6 months later. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Oh, here comes all the notifications. There we go. Okay, cool. Yep, there's another one. A mean dog that loves the staff. Oh man. All right. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I'm getting oh, you know what? Tacos just came up on Yelp. I think it was Yelp. Maybe it was something else. But they were like, yeah, tacos. They must know what day it is. All right. So also, well, Christina reminded me of something, but low key promoting in shows. So don't do that. There you go. I mean, we've talked about that before. It's like when you're like, oh, somebody sells something, you're like, oh, I have one of those in my store right now. You're promoting yourself, just low key promoting of oneself. A big man that will sit outside and flex his muscles. Yeah, maybe I need to find like an off-duty police officer or something to just sit out there. We just sit in our parking lot like all day. There you go. I wonder if that was Sage or someone downstairs. All right. Well, I think on that note, since we don't have a whole lot of new questions, I'm gonna hop off of here. Yeah. So you'd have to come on over here to niknax.net, niknax.net. And I was gonna say you can send me a DM, but I would suggest actually emailing community@niknax.net. That is where you will need to email. So community@niknax.net. Just let us know what you're interested in doing and what you plan to do, and we will go from there. All right. So on that note, I'm going to pop off of here, and hopefully I see you guys later on at 4:30 Eastern. I'm going to be selling the Goodwill stuff you've seen me pick up in the last few days. He's been behaved. He's behaving himself. So that's all I can ask. I mean, when I say behaving himself, he was like definitely making you scene out in front of the shop the other day, but it wasn't like he was trying to get on the property, not in the windows or in the doors or anything. But yeah, he's very spiteful. he's very spiteful. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna pop off here, and I will see all of you guys maybe later. Don't forget that Groovy Tuesday train is also tonight, so you guys can tune into that. And I forgot to mention, we did hit a record this week. We hit a record of 16 live sales at the same time, which I thought was insane. But we had 16 happening at the same time, which is crazy cool. 17 if you include Christina, who was co-selling. So that would have been 17 if she was just selling on her own and not co-selling. But that is an amazing. I'm so excited about that milestone, and I can't wait until we have 25 or 50 or a bunch of sales happening all at once. I believe it was Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Yes, Sunday. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to order some tacos. And I guess I will see all of you guys a little bit later. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Let's see what we can read today. Oh yeah, you know I'm ordering. I'm ordering tacos from that place where you got the burrito. You know the one, the authentic one. Oh, it's so freaking good. I can't wait. I'm already thinking about it. I'm like, I need it right now. It's gonna take forever for them to get here, but all right, let's do. Who should we go see? So we have Niknax, Finds by Bob's Daughter, and we have Brindy. So how about we go over to Niknax. Kim, it's been a while since we had over there, so that's where we're going. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I will see you later.